Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, the new Powerpuff Girls Star vs. the Force of Evil, and Ruby. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Ally Martin.
Hello.
Today, Ally and I will be discussing the 2016 winter anime Yuri on Ice. Hype. Just the series finale just aired yesterday. I think, and in Japan, and we will be discussing the finale, the entire series, and all aspects of this show that has been getting a lot of attention this year. We're going to start in no spoiler territory just for a minute, in case you haven't seen the series, like whether we'd recommend it or not. Then we're going to get right into spoilers to discuss the finale, discuss Yuri and Victor and all aspects of that, and other parts of the show. We are the Overly Animated Podcast. We don't necessarily talk about anime too often, but it's definitely within our range, and you can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, your other favorite podcatcher. So a lot to get into with Yuri on Ice. Allie's been watching this week to week and has been a big fan of the show. I've just caught up very recently, and we're going to get into everything here.
Literally today.
Today. Just a second ago.
Like 5 minutes ago.
So even... I'm fresh for discussing this. Yeah. So no spoilers yet. Generally, Allie, sell the series to someone who's listening to has not seen Yuri on Ice yet.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to start by saying it's not like Free. The boys don't take off their shirts every 5 seconds. It's not about fan service. It's about a boy.
For someone who has heard nothing about the show, that was a very odd introduction.
That's true. I mean, that's normally like the perception of it. Like everyone's just been like friends I've told about it, they're just like, oh, is it like the swimming anime? Because like I've seen, it's about guys and it's fan service and blah, blah, blah. But it's so much.
Let's start here. This is a figure skating anime with a male-male romance at its
figure
core.
Skating anime with a male-male romance yes, that's like, yes. It's a homosexual relationship, but that's not all it's about. It's, it's about like the people, like the characters are just so real. And that's, for me, the number one selling point. It's not even like Victor and Yuri. It's just how real everybody is. I don't know. I don't know how to sell this.
I think my number one selling point for the types of people that generally listen to our podcast is that this is one of the most explicit, queer romances you'll see in anime. So I think that's probably the big selling point for the show.
I would say maybe, this is the thing. I think it's the most, that you'll see in anime right now. This is I'm gonna just say this is the gayest anime I've ever seen. I'm not even sugarcoating it. I'll say oh, it's gay because it's cute, but this is actually it's gay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a big discussion about that, but that's kind of at the core of the show. This is also just a very well done figure skating anime with great animation and stuff like that.
I love the animation too, and the voice acting is great. The music obviously is amazing. I said this on the last podcast about the other one too, but I haven't stopped listening to, the songs they dance to.
Yeah.
His theme is My Life Juice.
Is your life juice? Yeah. So I think people should check this out. If you're not necessarily into sports anime and you're not going to be super invested in the male-male romance at its core, then I guess you might not be into it, but it is very well done at the very least, So
it's incredibly well done. The director, oh God, I don't remember her name. Kubo Sensei. I don't remember her first name, but she's brilliant. She's, I think, the writer and director. I don't know if it's a manga, but
it's I think it's original, and just looking by the Wikipedia page, Kubo Mitsuru, just the writer, Yamamoto Sayo directing, according to Wikipedia, and so check it out. We're gonna get into a lot of detail about the show. So spoilers from here on out. Spoilers for Yuri on Ice, everything, all aspects of the series. So okay, Allie. Let's start with the finale, I guess, because that's going to be high on people's minds because they're recording this right after this. What were your reactions to the series, or not the series? Because we learned that it's getting a second season, right? Just today, I think.
Well, it wasn't officially. Oh, was it greenlighted today? I mean, at the end, it was see you next time. So basically, it was it has to be greenlighted. Yeah, with how popular it is, there's no way.
Yeah. So, what were reactions to the finale?
Well, I screamed a lot and I cried after it was over a lot. And I mean, I was expecting, I had some predictions going in. I first of all didn't think Yuri would win, and I'm glad he didn't.
Yuri did win though.
No, he came in second.
No, but Yuri won.
Oh, yeah. Yurio.
Yeah.
The other one did. That's true. Oh, so I was wrong. No, but, and then what else? I thought, Pichito would win. I don't know how to say his name with an English accent.
Pichito-kun. Let's just say that, yeah.
Pichito-kun. Yeah, I thought he would win for some reason. What else did I mean, I knew it was going to be gay, but not that gay. Like, I think it was the day before the finale happened. Like, they released that there was going to be a duet song, and that it was the, like, the thing Victor danced to in the beginning, and that's why everyone was freaking out. So it was already predicted, but, like, still, like, I didn't think they would go down like that. They made it really gay. So someone also pointed out they're another addition to the blue and red pairing.
Yeah.
The gay blue and red pairing.
The gay blue and red. They join Keith and Lance from Voltron.
We have a male pairing now.
No,
Keith
and Lance was already there. Well, yeah, we have Ruby and Sapphire, of course. Yeah. All these blue and red gay pairings. So, I think the highlight was the dual figure skating, right at the end, I guess.
Well, also people were worried that, like, they were gonna, quote, like, break up, or, like, Yuri wasn't gonna skate anymore. And I'm glad he changed his mind, and I'm glad that, okay, I want to get into it, because, like, with Yurio, oh god, somebody, like, was talking about it. They said, what was it? Like, when, you remember when Victor was like, I'm gonna come back to skating, and then he got sad about Yuri retiring?
Yeah. Yeah, that was Yurio's
like, when he hugged Yuri, he was like,
yeah.
But then the fans were like, oh, Yurio just definitely, like, skated the way he did to inspire Yuri to come back, and I was like, I really hope that's true, because then it's like,
we'll talk about Yurio, but let's I think the dual, the pairs skating, I think, was probably the highlight.
That's what everyone keeps posting about.
Yeah,
that and the ending is in St. Petersburg with everybody.
Yeah, that was good. I thought it was well done. It was mostly skating. I guess I thought there'd be a longer, like, epilogue section, so whatever. But
I honestly did too. That was what surprised me about it. I know you're not. Well, I don't know. Were you, like? Did you get into the skating a little bit more as it went on? Like, even a little bit?
We'll talk about this in wider detail. We can get into this now. I think the skating was well done. Like, I think this was some of the best kind of sports action sequences I've seen on anime. Like, they definitely, like, infused a lot of character elements into them. They're definitely well, like, well storyboarded, well animated. And they, like, give you reason to care about all these minor characters, because they infuse these kind of backstory sequences. Exactly. But that being said, just the Yuri character stuff and the Victor Yuri stuff, I cared about so much more than any of these figure skating.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, of course, they are the main characters.
So, I'm not going to say I was super enthused by the finale, because it was mostly just skating.
I feel that.
So, I don't know. But yeah, overall, it was hype, the end of that and stuff like that. I forgot my main talking point. I should have said it in the non-spoiler section, but I'll say it now. I already made this joke to you, but the show's called Yuri on Ice. I was very confused. Because everybody was. Because this is not Yuri, this is Yaoi.
Yep.
But
I was confused too. That's why I was interested.
It's called Yuri on Ice. I thought this would be a Yuri, but there's like no.
I mean, this summer we're gonna have Yaoi on Fire, and it's gonna be like girls in India with fire dancing. I don't know.
That would be good, yeah. You're gonna name the main character of the most Yaoi show ever Yuri. That's interesting.
We're gonna name her Yaoi. Choice.
And yeah, so there you go. That should be your selling point for the series. This is Yuri on Ice, but this is not a Yuri. Okay.
If anything, that's not a selling point.
I guess so. That'll get people interested. So yeah, the finale. We'll talk about more aspects of the finale, but so let's talk about the show overall. So I think that the highlights and the things people are talking about, and to a certain extent, it's just because we're like in the progressive community on the internet, so we're going to see like the queer romance stuff more. But I feel like these are the highlights of the show: the exchanging of the charm / engagement rings / whatever.
They're engagement rings. They propose to each other. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Yuri is like, let's get these charms. But yeah, so I think that's one of the big highlights of the show.
Let's get married.
And then Victor, of course, is the one.
They're getting married.
I guess so. Is that going to happen in season 2?
He's going to win gold season 2, and then they're going to get married. That's the promise.
But so
the promise still stands.
They're both skating. Is that what's happening now?
They're both skating, and Victor's also being his coach at the same time, which I don't know how he's going to do.
Yeah, that seems like a conflict of interest.
I don't think it's going to turn out well, and I'm excited for all the drama, honestly. I'm really excited.
Not to be down on Yuri, but I don't think Yuri can beat Victor and Yurio in a I don't think that can.
Maybe now he can. Now he has the potential. He did set the record.
Yeah, I guess so.
And Yurio didn't beat his record. So
yeah, that's true.
They're all equals, and I love it so much. It's so good. Anyway,
yes. So the highlight of the series for me are going to be the bands, the kiss, which we'll talk about. The pair skating at the end. And then other than that, I think it's a lot of stuff from the beginning of the series, to be honest, like from the first few episodes.
You get so much even from the beginning.
I think to be honest, I like the first 2 or 3 episodes a lot more than most of the middle.
The humor was way more light and it was more playful. I know you're more into slice of life, so I know you would like the beginning more.
Yeah, the series starts off with just very character focused, and it doesn't even get to any, I guess the first 2 episodes and then most of the third doesn't even get to any skating, and then the rest of the series is kind of just a ton of skating, to be honest. It's kind of...
You're trying to turn people away with that tone.
It's just a lot of skating. I think people are underselling the amount of figure skating in this series.
It's just kind of skating, to be honest.
It's kind of just
skating with a lot of emotional stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions. That's true.
Lots of emotions.
But yeah, I did like episodes 1 and 2 better. The series is so weird. Episode 2, we were watching, it moves so fast. They go through several months, and then they spend...
The whole series goes by so quick.
But then they spend an entire episode just on the first part, and then the second episode is on the second part of the competition. They do slow down a ton when they get into the actual skating.
Yeah. I mean, everything happens so fast. The preparation time just goes by is what they're trying to be like, I think.
So overall, now that the finales are, looking back on the series, what are your thoughts on the series as a whole? Is this one of your favorite animes recently? Is this super good? Let's talk about that.
20 out of 10 would recommend. I mean, I know a lot of it right now is coming from the hype, and it will probably die down eventually, but it's definitely in my top 10 favorite anime for reasons, mostly for, the LGBT community stuff that it's done, and it's so fun to watch. I haven't really honestly been this hype about an animated series since Korra, and I was joking with you yesterday. I hit the post limit on Tumblr because I was screaming about it that much. And
Ally hit the post limit for the first time since Korra ended.
That hasn't happened since Korra, so it's to me, it's a big deal. I'm so attached to the characters. Yuri is for me, very relatable, and I don't know. He's everything about it is just really, it feels real and really relatable, even though it's really not relatable, if that makes sense. Because he meets his idol, who's the world #1 person, and then they get married, and then I don't know. It's really unrealistic in a lot of ways, but so realistic in so many others.
Yeah, I want to add one of my another highlight to the season was the when we learned that Yuri got drunk at the thing and then danced with Victor.
I wanted to watch that episode with you. I'm so angry.
Ally, we're watching some episodes together, but I watched that this morning with you.
Oh my God.
I think that might have been my favorite my favorite part of the series, because it really explains...
That's the best part of the series, because you get so much background info. Yeah. You can go back to the second episode and be oh, okay, he's referring to the banquet here.
Yeah, Victor showing up doesn't really make any sense until that happens. So I think that I would have preferred that happen earlier.
And the way he acts with Yuri doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Until it's explained.
Yeah, until we see the pictures of it and all. Yeah,
you realize it's he fell in love with him a year ago, and
I think that's my favorite scene of the series. That sequence.
It's the best one.
Yeah, that's interesting. You actually think it's the best one too? I've heard the wedding bands one is
everything.
That's my thing. I think that's the best one. But
that one, the wedding one, and honestly, the kiss and the airport scene.
The airport scene, yeah.
I really like the airport scene because that's basically the proposal.
Yeah, I like the series as well. I didn't love it as much as Ally. Compared to the other anime that I'm watching this season, which is
really not up there.
which is what's the other? He became Euphonium.
Yeah, really bad.
I'm a few episodes behind, but this like compare the show to Hibike Euphonium season 2, which hopefully we'll podcast on because we did that season 1.
That's gonna be painful.
Yeah, this show is much better. You know, this show.
I'm really disappointed
to Hibike season 2, but I mean, I don't think this is like far and away better than a lot of animes I've seen. Like, I think it's clearly like high quality and stuff, but I mean, I have some issues with. Would it
be in your top 10?
Probably not. You know?
Okay, fair enough.
I don't, and that doesn't mean it's bad, but it's
no, I know, yeah, I feel you.
There's some very good animes, but
you are entitled to your opinion, even though it's wrong. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, lol. But I think I thought it was good. I think that there's just like, and it's not even I mean, I have qualms about the depiction of Victor and Yuri that we're going to get into. That's going to be a dangerous discussion, but we're going to get into that. I was
curious about that, actually.
Yeah, like, I mean, basically, I don't think it's explicit enough, but we're going to get into that. But, like, that's not even why, you know, I wouldn't put it in my top 10. It's just because there's too much figure skating. Like, that's really it. You know, I mean, I honestly think it ends up being like 60% or more of the series.
I knew it. You had the same problem with Free, and that's why you didn't keep going.
Yeah, there's too much swimming. No, Free had other problems. This show's better than Free. Let's be clear.
Good. Yeah, okay, good. The show is better than Free.
Yeah. So, you know, the show's strengths, I think, are its character moments, and a lot of the character moments do shine through with the skating sequences. For the record, a lot of people are going to watch this show because it's a sports anime for the skating, so I'm not going to be like, the skating's bad, but because
I actually don't think a lot of people would watch this for the skating. The thing that people got interested about it was the gay stuff.
I mean, yeah, that's the visibility we're seeing, but this is just like a sports anime. Like, people initially, like, I'd say the average person might watch this because it's like a figure skating sports anime. I'm not sure, but there's like shows like this, you know. This is a very common trope, just to take some non-major sport and, you know, this type of thing. So it's and I do think the sequences are done very well.
I'm curious if they'll go anywhere with the women in it, actually. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about
no.
Well, your favorite pairing, actually.
We'll talk. No, not my. I disavow that. We'll talk about that later with the minor characters. But
okay.
Well, yeah. Let's focus on Victor and Yuri for now. So let's get into the character. Okay. Let's get into each of them individually, and then we'll get into take a deep dive into their romance. So let's start with Yuri, Japanese Yuri, not Yurio.
Mm-hmm.
So you love Yuri.
I'm in love with him, and I love him, and I am him.
That seems
very
complicated.
It is very complicated.
I don't think that's a healthy relationship, Ally.
No, it's not, but whatever.
Okay, so let's talk about this more.
Done that. It's okay.
Okay. What do you think about Yuri's character? What about Yuri's character attaches you to him so much?
Well, I was saying before how like all the characters feel very real, and to me with Yuri, it's mostly like how he sees people around him and himself. I mean, like with the anxiety and the. I would say, like, I mean, what is the term? Self-deprecating, like, nature that he has towards himself. But it's very relatable and very human, and that's part of what I love about him. And then, like, the silly ways he acts, and, like, with the katsudon being his favorite food. Also, I relate to the gaining weight problem. So.
Yeah, same, to be honest. But
he's just very. I love how. I also wanted to talk to you about this before we got into it. But the whole, like the way he shows his emotions.
Yeah,
the fact that he does is also very.
Yeah, that's a perfect topic for Dylan to talk about. So
I know. It's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I also really like Yuri. He's my favorite character of the series. The best thing about Yuri is that he is, you know, a male who actually displays emotions, right? Like I go on this speech like several times on this podcast, but this is
good. I mean, I want you to.
Yeah, Yuri subverts, you know, typical, you know, toxic masculinity depictions of characters.
Especially in Japan, and that's what's really important about it for me.
Yeah, it's like it's especially for animes. To be honest, though, actually, a lot of anime gets into this more than you'd think.
It gets into it, but it really mocks it a lot of the time.
It does, yeah. And Yuri's depiction is so
it's real and like accepted.
It's so earnest, and everyone loves him, and he's just very forthcoming with his emotions, and it's something I relate to a lot. It's something that's really important to me to have these type of depictions. And It's also, I mean, we're going to focus on Yuri, but it's also every other like kind of male character also like displays emotions and is, even, you know, even the super masculine ones like Chris or like JJ, they're like displaying emotions and, it's seen as a good thing, you know? So
also Yurio, like I wanted to point this out to you, like when he found Yuri crying in the bathroom. And like he was like, oh, like what are you doing crying? And he cries at the end on the ice.
Yeah, Yurio, I would argue is this show's depiction of the harm of kind of these masculine gender roles being applied because he doesn't feel very free to display his emotions or anything like that. Like I think that's kind of a big element to Yurio's character. So there's
and Yuri's, I would say.
And Yuri's for sure, but Yuri kind of
it's more emphasized with Yurio, I think, definitely.
Yuri feels that he can, you know, be himself and, you know,
to
express himself, and I really love that. And that's my favorite thing about the series, to be honest. It's a very selfish favorite thing, but
no, it's not, because it makes it human, and it to me honestly is like rare to find an anime like that like makes, I don't know, because a lot of anime like Free, I mean, it shows people being real, but it's like still not really real.
Yeah.
You know, because like they're like perfect looking or whatever, and they like.
You're right. Yuri's a very real depiction because he's not, you know, super.
Yeah, and he again gains weight easily.
Yeah.
So I
definitely relate to Yuri in a way that I have a lot of trouble relating to a lot of characters. So he does mean a lot to me personally.
He's incredibly relatable.
One of my favorite scenes, let's add this to the favorite scenes of the series, is from episode 3, is when.
Oh, I wanted to watch this one with you too. I know what you're talking about.
So Yuri's, he gets assigned this, on Eros by Victor, because Victor's just kind of he's just kind of a troll, and he switches well, we can't say that, but I'll say he's a troll, and
I'm sorry,
he flips around the
well, I mean, you know, he did it for a reason, and I'm glad he did it. And now we know when he actually did it.
Yeah, I guess he did it for a reason,
because Yuri danced at the banquet.
Okay, so that would be why. Okay,
because he danced at the banquet.
I have to. You've gone back and watched these with the knowledge with that. I would have to go back and seen that. Yeah. But yeah. Yuri's kind of trying to figure out how to relate.
I mean, he was like, there have been posts on Tumblr that's just like Yuri's like, oh, I think I'll be Agape, and Victor's like, I think not. Like, I know you.
Okay, that's,
you know, it's also to get both of them to be out of their comfort zone. I think was his actual plan. And that was, both, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was how the episode depicted it, but that's a good point of view, is going back looking at it with like Yuri, or with Victor having seen Yuri do that dance while drunk. So
that's what I want. That's what I need you to do, is you have to watch the series again and think about it from Victor's perspective. Now knowing that he knew Yuri from the beginning, like everything makes so much more sense.
Yeah, and that's why I was a little bit frustrated that we didn't get that episode until at the end. You know, I had trouble.
That's why I'm more frustrated you didn't watch earlier.
Well, I mean, I
can just rewatch again and again and again. Well, like I have.
That's a good solution, but I had a little bit of trouble. We'll get into Victor. I had a little trouble relating to Victor throughout, but
I think I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, back to the Yuri scene. So Yuri's trying to relate to on Laveros, and he's like this tale of like the womanizer coming to the you know, the village or something, and he's like, I don't want to be the womanizer. I want to be like the girl that like
woman.
Tempts the woman that tempts him, and that was so incredible.
It was great.
That's like,
and then he chose the outfit that like Victor wore when he suggested that, like when his outfit suggested 2 genders. Like, come on, it's so good.
That was the best expression of the this Yuri you know, throwing away of masculine gender roles type thing, and I thought it was really well done.
It's fantastic. Like stuff like this is what kept me like wanting to like keep going with the characters.
Yeah, and I would say that that's from the first 3 episodes, and then it becomes lesser, but still, it was, you know, it was very, very
But
good.
then that's like at the back of your mind always. I mean,
that's true. It was definitely a good thing to show in the beginning. I agree with that decision. So yeah, we really like Yuri. You know,
best character ever. Like, oh my god, I love him so much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I will say, once we get into too much skating, I do think the focus goes away from him a little bit. So I'm not sure if, I agree for like 3 episodes, he was like really incredible, but then I'm not sure if like, he's still a great character, but I don't know if like, you know, he's not in the focus.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see that much of him. That's why.
Yeah. So that's basically what I'm trying to say.
We basically more Yuri. Yeah. Season 2,
more Yuri. Come on, I don't need to see the guy from Kazakhstan, you know, dance his entire routine, or not dance, but you know, skate his entire routine. I think that was a little unnecessary. Anyway, Victor. So, thoughts on Victor, Ally?
Oh boy, why don't we start with you, because I'm curious.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I have issues with him that I've kind of like gotten over.
Okay, you'll react to what I say, sure. I had trouble relating to Victor throughout the whole time. So Victor's the most over-the-top character I've ever seen. He's everything he does is purposefully grandiose, and he's very much like that. I definitely can't relate to that. But more than that, we just never get inside his head. This series is from Yuri's POV, so Victor's kind of doing all these crazy things. I don't know why Victor showed up in the beginning. That POV episode at the end did explain a lot. But you know, still, he's someone who I think actually struggles to express his emotions maybe more than Yuri. I feel like he's these grandiose gestures really, I don't know if those are the true him or whatever. Like, I'm not sure if that's like actual.
Me neither. And that's part of what scares me about him, but it makes me really interested to find out. I mean, like, because we got that one episode that was kind of from his point of view. And that was the only time we really got to look into his head. So I'm excited. If they're going to do season 2, hopefully they'll, you know, get into his backstory with everything. But the thing that, like, I don't know how to feel about him because I don't really know. I feel like I know him. Like, I only know about him from Yuri's perspective, so it's scary. But yeah. I think the grandiose parts of him are what I love about him because it's entertaining for one, and like just people like that are fun. But he actually reminds me of, I forgot if you watched Ouran High School Musical.
No, I haven't seen that.
Like the grandiose stuff reminded me of Tama. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't like him being grandiose?
He was
Did it
fine.
bother you, or were you just like, eh?
No, I don't think he really necessarily bothered me. I think it's just like, wow, this guy is kind of absurd.
It's
That's
just
kind
not
of
relatable.
Yeah, basically. I wasn't necessarily.
I mean, but how can you not be absurd? Like when you're like a world time champion and you've like set records, like, I don't know. He's like already very unreal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's kind of this mythical figure in the show. Yeah.
I kind of wonder if they like but like made his personality so silly because like he's like so talented to kind of balance it out. Like he's like amazing, but he's like also like a derp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a purposeful depiction. It's kind of like on one hand you have Yuri, who's this really realistic character, on the other hand you have Victor's kind of this like super unrealistic kind of godlike figure. My other big problem with him is his design. He very much seems like a guy from a yaoi like show. So
why? Like, what makes you say that?
You know, he's just like this Adonis depiction. He's like prominent, you know, like you said, the one shot they keep showing over and over of him naked.
But don't they do that? I mean, in like, you know, hetero stuff too.
I don't think in most stuff you have someone who looks like Victor on the show. I would say that.
I thought you were going to just talk about his hair and how it was white for some reason.
Victor's hair is the least of my concerns. I would say.
Should be your number one priority. His hair's flawless.
I guess that should be my concern. But yeah, his
flawless.
He's like, the show sometimes seems like your typical yaoi. And sometimes it doesn't. And I think that's
I don't know if you really watch enough yaoi to know what
I don't watch enough to make that call, but my perception is the Victor is like the typical yaoi is like 2 Victors basically. And the show's interesting because it's like 1 Victor and 1 Yuri. But yeah, Victor's just a very over the top perfect character model, perfect. I think his role in the show is fine. Like giving him that backstory was good, and I think he ends up a good character. Yeah,
I think he's a great character. I mean, the thing is, like, the thing with both of like Yuri and Victor's characters individually is that they change so much because of each other. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you were talking about before how Victor kind of seems just like a god, but then in a way, I feel like Yuri kind of brings him back down to earth because he was just like, oh, okay, I'll coach you and like I'll not be like focused on my career for a while, and then I don't know, maybe it like changed him. Maybe next season he won't be able to like be as great as he was.
Yeah, I
think there was part of an episode we were just watching. I don't remember. He was like saying like, before I would always do the same thing and I would always just surprise everybody, and I was holding myself back. I thought I could do stuff on my own, or like I had to do stuff on my own, but I was wrong. So like he like is a very different person now. I just really still don't know what he's talking about. But I mean, both of them kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, I agree that it's a very purposeful depiction to like do the over the top Victor and then the relatable Yuri and their models and everything about together, them is they're supposed to be like this
star-crossed lovers. No.
Yeah, kind of this opposites type thing, Not that we like that the opposites attract theory here on our show.
Well, but, this one works. This one works.
Yeah, this one works. But yeah, I there's more to Victor than what seems. I don't know if we've gotten into it too much. Like, I agree they try to get into it very vaguely at the end of the series, but we really haven't. So that would be high on my list of things to get into in season 2, would be dive deeper into Victor's emotions and stuff like that. So
yeah, because you've seen like shots of past Victor, but you don't know how like he was in past.
Yeah, we'd like to know more. So, yeah, a little bit like there, but hopefully it's good. So let's take a deep dive into Victor, Yuri, Victor. It's the ship name's just like the two of them next to each other, right? That's kind of meh, but yeah.
Victory.
So Victory is it actually Victory though? Is it I guess if you pronounce it a certain way, it's Victor, Yuri, Victor.
It's okay. Victory, like with 2 U's, because Yuri's name has 2 U's.
Okay, gotcha. So let's take a deep dive into them. We can start with their romance, and then we can take a deeper, like, political, like how the depiction is type of dive. So,
yeah.
What do you think? So, what do you think of their arc throughout the season and their romance? And they start out already pretty close in the beginning. So how do you think it develops throughout the series?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, because we talked about this with episode 10, the revelation that they knew each other before, it makes it different the second time around. But like in the beginning, like when I watched before that episode, I just thought it was like amusing and funny. And I wasn't sure if they were like trying to be intentionally funny to like be like, oh, like of course, like they're gonna make like a homosexual like couple like act this way and like be kind of stereotypically silly like on a TV show. But like after episode 10, like going back and watching it, it's like, I don't know, I really like the way it's done in the sense that like it becomes like when you see it from Victor's perspective, it becomes more real that like he actually felt that way about him and wasn't like just trying to mess with him, like, with like touching him and everything.
Yeah. So, okay. Certainly we agree. Episode 10 is very vital to this series. Makes everything come together. The series is a lot worse without it, but
I think, without it, like, for other scenes, after like the second episode where, like it's immediately silly, like he's touching him and it's like, wait, what, you just met? Like eventually it's like kind of like, okay, they're getting to know each other. It's staying like at the same level of silly, but they're getting to know each other. But then after episode 10, it like becomes way more obvious.
Yeah. So what do you think each of their emotions are for the other throughout the series? So do we think that Victor's just in love with Yuri from the beginning?
Oh my God, yes. That? Yes.
Okay. And so that motivates him throughout the series, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what about Yuri? So he starts off idolizing Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's something that like grows into love throughout? And when
I would say so.
And when do you, okay, if so, like when do you think the turning point maybe is in the series?
Oh, I don't remember what episode it was, but he gave like a speech to like the press. I think it was episode 4 or like 5 or something like that. At the end of the episode, he was saying like, the emotions he felt for Victor were like nothing he'd ever felt before, and he was like, I don't know what to really call that, but I've decided to address it as love. So in a way, I think it went from admiration, like, or lusting really, to eventual like love or like more emotional feelings.
Yeah. What is it, 4 or something? It's
and I think
I
don't know if that would be the turning point. I don't know if I'd say that was the turning point, but I'd say, that's his realization. I don't really remember what happened before then.
Yeah, one of those episodes, I don't know if there's episode 4 or what, but he was trying to like specifically place what he was feeling, and he arrives at love, but that's still a very broad word. I don't know what Japanese word they were using for love in that scene. But...
They were using the one for like real love, like.
So they're using not. Say it again.
They're using the character for like for Aishiteru ai. So
it's like, yeah. So Aishiteru is beyond like
super intense love is basically what it is.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I think it probably works better in Japanese than if you know the difference.
It does. That's the problem. I should have addressed that. That's the thing, because normally I guess nowadays it would be different. Like when people do address love, they would use that term. But like it can be very vague depending on the situation. It depends on context. But under this, I would say it's like romantic / sexual love.
Yeah, so aisturu just means like kind of deep love, whereas daisuki would mean is often used more of as a like in English. Is kind of the overview of that.
Yeah.
So Ally's our Japanese correspondent, so she can address these language disparities. But
I'm here to translate, and that's it.
No, that's not it, obviously. But
and not get paid. No.
And not exactly, yeah. But it's so I think that's an interesting turning point. Him trying to like place it. I would say I don't know if he's like from that, because I do think that's pretty early on. I don't think he has it down that he's like super in love with Victor at that point. I think he certainly feels intense feelings for him at that point, and it's kind of just like the rest of the series is him trying to place it. I don't even know if at the end I'm not sure if he arrives at the fact like I'm in love with Victor by the end of the series. Like, completely.
I think he knows he's in love with Victor before he proposes to him. I think. Oh no, the realization was, what was it, episode 8, where they meet at the airport, or like when Victor's away with the dog because the dog is dying. I think I would say for both of them.
Yeah.
That might be the realization that they like need each other, because they were apart for just one day, and then they like ran to each other, and
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe that's the point.
Yeah, that episode is pretty over the top, so I had a little trouble relating to Yuri in that point. But
I mean, it was over the top because everything was going to
high emotions and stuff like
SHIT,
that. Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm glad we did not drag out the dog being sick arc, because I was very concerned for the dog. That was my number one concern at that point. Matachi,
I'm glad you're glad he was alive.
Yeah, Matachi.
Part of what got me so emotional about that was because Yuri, the same thing happened to him, except he wasn't able to go home and see his dog, so he was like...
Yeah.
It just made it so much... It made it hurt so much more. I can also relate to that. It's really weird.
I take back Yuri being my favorite character. It's Matachi. He's my favorite.
It's Makachi.
Yeah, okay. So let's...
I agree, actually.
So yeah, I think... Okay, now we're gonna transition, because I think this is the point where we're going to... talk about like what the strength of the depiction and stuff like that. So, Yuri, is, I don't know when it's ever told to me that, Yuri is explicitly romantically in love with Victor. That's kind of the big thing is, and so, okay, I'm about to, take the wrong opinion here. I am aware, Tumblr. So, but I think this is worth being discussed. Like,
it's worth a discussion, I would say.
The thing is, like, when do we ever know beyond, subtext? And subtext is fine. It's important. And, emotions and categorizing emotions non-explicitly is important. But when do I ever know that, Yuri loves Victor? That's kind of my thing. Like, cause he calls the wedding bands, kind of like charms. He's always like overwhelmed by the displays of emotion. And obviously he loves him, but like, love is a very broad word. So like, when is do you have an answer for this? Like, is it told explicitly in the series, or is it more of a a below the surface thing?
I don't honestly I don't really think I would say most of that stuff is beneath the surface. Like it's in your face. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm trying to think of it like we're gonna get so much hate, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but like that never really happened with Kurosami either, and like it happens with like hetero couples all the time. They just, stare at each other, and people are like, okay,
right. So that's a good point. This is not an atypical representation from like a typical straight couple. That's a good point to start with. Kurosami, I don't think we want to bring them into this. Kurosami is the beginnings of a relationship. That's like, true. Okay, yeah. This is an entire season of a romance. So it's a different thing. I
mean, the thing is, like, they didn't explicitly say I love you, but the like devoted attention they gave each other throughout the whole series was, I think, like, a more meaningful and like a better way of showing like that two people really care about each other, rather than just having them say like flat out I love you, or like having a like realization scene. I mean, they kissed, they engaged, they proposed to each other, they slept in beds pushed together, they were like going to be like, okay, let's be together forever. Like, I mean, I'm trying to see it as from like, hashtag hetero perspective. If this were like a guy and a girl, everyone would be like, okay, they're getting married. So it's like really, honestly, the same thing.
Hashtag hetero lens.
Hashtag
thanks, Brian. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Clearly, if this was a guy and a girl, this would be seen as romantic. And it is seen as romantic. I don't know who's watching the series and is not seeing this as romantic. That's the thing. I certainly saw this as romantic. Let's make that clear. But I also want to air my grievances because...
I agree with you, though. The problem I have with it is that I want to argue that it could be more explicit, but I also know it's Japan.
Okay,
and that's also an aspect.
Yeah, let's get into that. Let me get it all out there. I kind of went into the series, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the actual gay anime. Like, that's kind of how he was sold to me.
Yeah.
Like by Tumblr and you.
The real gay anime.
This is the one true gay, this show.
Hashtag
so I was like,
what's
okay.
the truth?
I guess I don't know what that is, but so this is the true gay, and like we're gonna see explicit representation. And yes, we kind of get that, but we also kind of don't. And let me tell you why we kind of don't get that. The kiss is not really shown. It's behind his arm. Yes, I know you want to hate me on that. When I watched it, to be honest, I tried to like Ally reblog stuff. I tried to scroll through it and not see the spoilers.
I'm sorry.
I honestly wasn't super aware that was a kiss when it happened. I'm like, I heard that there would be a kiss. I'm like, was that it? Like, that was mostly just a hug. Yes, clearly they're kissing kind of behind his arm, but why not show that on the screen? The engagement. Okay, I've heard they're going to get engaged. Yuri calls these charm bands, and it's not like they actually propose to each other or anything, and it's more just Pichicho-kun being super cute and great, and that's why we see it as that. But that wasn't like an explicit engagement or anything. And then at the end, it's not like we're like, oh, we're dating or anything. It's never really happens. It's more just to be honest, I feel like this is almost closer to the typical anime kind of like depict gay without actually being gay. It's maybe, I'm not going to say that. It's somewhat closer to that than your typical actual explicit gay representation. Now granted, anime, like you said, never is super explicit.
Never.
Never. So this is closer than anything I personally have seen in anime.
That's why it's like in my top 10.
Right. So that is praiseworthy on its own. It gets closer than anything we've seen. Let me give some background. The typical Yuri or Yaoi show, for instance, Hibike Euphonium has an entire premise of the two main girls together, and then never actually is going to show them together, because they just don't want to do that.
That's not how the manga was, and also because it's gay.
But they're like obviously together, and they like say I love you, but then it's like, okay,
they're
that's just friendly
together, but like no.
And then they just never show anything like that, and this is like every Yuri and Yaoi. And so I think you can understand my frustrations and why you should be nice to people on Tumblr who also have these frustrations, who
yeah, I mean everybody. I saw a bunch of posts about how in a way it is still just queer baiting, and in a way I do agree. But I think
I want to say this. I don't
it's
think
important because this is the closest we've gotten to away from queer. Not queer. It's not queer baiting, but people say parts of it are like you said, how they kiss behind the arm and you don't really see it technically. I mean, somebody could say that's queer baiting. I don't really agree, but I see where they're coming from.
Yeah, so I don't think this is queer baiting. I have a very strict definition of queer baiting, which is it is trying to attract queer viewers to your show and build up something that is you ultimately do not pay off. I think that's clearly not what's happening here.
That's true. Yeah, no, we pay off.
This pays off. I like, for me, it doesn't pay off to the extent that I want it to, but like it's still clearly they're together, right? So this isn't. I don't think this is queer baiting. I would just say it's not as explicit representation as I would like, which is not necessarily.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I would agree. It's just, again, I hate blaming it. I mean, not blaming it, but like I hate the excuse that because it's Japan they can't do that, but like they totally can if they want.
I've seen these posts on Tumblr since it's like, oh, what's gonna happen in season 2? Oh, they're just gonna like be dating and they're gonna be together and they're like divvy up chores.
That's why I'm curious
and,
if
like,
they're gonna push it.
And I see that and I'm like, oh, this is fun and I want to believe that too, but like, are you not watching the same show I'm watching? The show didn't say they're dating, so why would we see them doing dating stuff? Because
how, what was it? It was episode 10, I think, when they got engaged or whatever. And where Victor was like, okay, this is an engagement ring. We'll get married when he gets gold. So technically the promise still stands because he didn't win gold.
Right.
So it could get married if he wins gold.
I mean, I love that. I love what Victor says there. I love what Pachichikun says there, but now I'm going to progressively get worse with his name. I had it in the beginning, but it's not like they're engaged. They're wearing these bands and they kind of have Victor's jokey promise, but Victor's always saying jokey things.
It's not a joke though.
I don't think it's a joke either, but like
he's always serious. He says jokey things, but he's always serious.
Okay. That's an interesting, I like that take on his character.
He never lies. Like, I mean, he never jokes around.
It's not like Yuri's yes,
you don't mess around.
So they are wearing them when they're skating, which is great. But
and they kiss them, so they're getting married. I mean, come on, they can't not.
I'm fine with calling this an engagement. I'm fine with that. But I certainly wouldn't expect the trajectory of the show to show them married next season. I don't think that's
really.
Yeah, I certainly don't think that's what they would do. Like, they haven't even shown them explicitly kiss yet. Like, really? We're going to show them getting married?
I mean, maybe that would be it. For me, that would be like the ultimate ending.
I guess that would be very Japanese to just like never kiss and then kiss at your wedding, right? That'd be like.
I mean, pretty much. That would be very Japanese.
That would be very Japanese. Yeah.
I'm sorry to any Japanese listeners. I mean, I'm sure you'd agree anyway, but whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm purposely being harsh here to try to make a point, but
no, but I understand your point. I also am skeptical that would happen, but I'd like to think that maybe 2017, maybe we'll have some hope in light of Trump.
Overall, yeah, okay. Well, no hope anymore. But overall, this isn't the show's. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about the show, but I'm sick of not 100% clear representation.
Oh Lord, everyone knows
all formats, and this show gets wrapped up in that. Like
everyone is sick of that, and this show does.
And I want to be clear, this show is included. Like it's not. It's one of the best examples of not like it's the best worst. Like but it's still in that category for me.
I see where you're coming from. In a way, I agree.
I'm sorry, so that's what I have to say about that. I'm not saying people who can't celebrate and stuff, and it should be celebrated. And there's something to be said for being the first one to take a step beyond something like anime not depicting anything ever, and this being the first step to take it towards, an actual depiction. And that's very important on its own. And it's like, they don't kiss, Korra and Asami don't kiss, but that's such an important step. It has a ton of meaning on its own, right? So, the show, I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate or anything. I'm just like, I think this should be said. And that was kind of one of my reactions. Like, I don't know. It's not gay enough is what I would say. Like, let's get this show is so gay, but I want it to be more gay is what I would say.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Okay.
It's gay, and I hope it gets gayer, and it probably will.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe season 2, they'll just actively be dating and stuff like that.
Maybe they'll just have like a sex scene. No, they won't.
I mean, we do see Victor naked like a lot, so.
We've seen Yuri naked too. We've seen both of them naked.
I guess so, yeah. What I would say to like the writers of the show is, it's very important to actually call them dating if you're seeing them as dating. That's very,
the problem is because I feel like they would want to do it, but they have editors and publicists and people who tell them that don't fly.
Yeah. Now, normally I say these things are stupid reasons. That being said, Japan is actually very conservative.
They're really stupid reasons, and I hate it. I hate that about Japan so much.
But normally I would say these reasons don't actually apply for American creators anymore. Like, I think we're past the point where
I'd like to think we are.
You can so simply hide that. I'm not saying we're like, in the future, but we're past the point where you just can't do it. But Japan is different, and they're not past that point where you can't do it. Like, so
I wonder if they ever will be in the near future. That's the thing where I'm also like, maybe this show will help.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to get there. Japan's just hyper conservative and their typical
culture.
But I know, shows like Yuri and Ice, there's, I assume the youth culture in Japan is going to eventually bring this up, right?
Mm. So. It has been brought up already. I mean, if anything else with figure skaters in Japan.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And,
it's super realistic in that sense too. I mean, there's figure skaters from all over the world who love the show, I think.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that, like them tweeting about it and it being on like figure skating.
And they got a cameo of a dude.
Yeah, and
I don't remember his name. It's like Stefan something.
Yeah, I don't think that worked really well, but it was fine. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it didn't. But whatever. It was like a little shout out.
So that's my speech. But feel free to comment what you'd like. But I
want to ask you though: would you sell this show to somebody?
Right. So let's say, let's take Sam, our friend Sam, who will kind of watch anything that's, we'll take anything that's like explicitly gay, ignoring the male versus female aspect, which is also a thing. Like generally our group is more of a fan of the female side, but, like towards someone who's like, who loves explicit representation. What I would say is I wouldn't say Yuri and Ice, you have to watch it, like no qualifications. I would say this is a show that's done more than any anime has. There's still limits to it. So keep that in mind going in, but this is also a show with, a great, male center to it. That's what I would say is, I wouldn't recommend it unqualified to someone who would be expecting it to, be, more than it is. I guess. So I don't know. That's not, and again, not to say.
But I mean, you would recommend the show to like just a person who asked about it.
Well, yeah, like I said in the beginning, that is to do with more of the quality of the show than necessarily what we're talking about here. Like, I think this is a good anime, right? Like, I think it's very good. So,
it's a great anime.
I would recommend the series. To close out that discussion before we get into our last thing is, overall, I think the positives outweigh the negatives. Like I said, I think what I brought up is I just want to make it get out there because I think that's an important thing to get out there. But overall, the progression in anime and the representation that this provides and the positive feelings it gives people far outweigh the any sort of limitations that that the show encountered in its depictions.
I agree.
Okay. Let's run through all of our non-Yuri Victor characters, spending more time on the more minor ones and less time on the random randos. So let's start with Yurio.
Yes, my son.
He's your son. What do you like about Yurio?
Everything. I don't know. I mean, I like his character development for the most. Like, I mean, how he went from, like, this little cocky, like, rude person to, like, a more mature. I mean, he's still like, hey, baka, like, to everybody, but,
yeah.
He's become way more mature, I think. And I like how, Victor and Yuri and everyone he met affected him in that way. And he's just fantastic. I love his grandpa. I love how he is great at ballet on ice.
Ballet on ice, yeah.
I mean, that's basically what this is. How do people do this? Ballet on ice. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I think Yurio is a very strong secondary character.
Very.
I think he, out of more than anyone, I think the show doesn't spend a lot of time on its. It obviously shows the skating sequences, but other than Yurio, it doesn't focus too much on anyone else besides our main two.
Yeah, they're going to be in Russia for a reason now.
Yeah, but I think Yurio is a very good depiction. I mean, he's 15, so you have to keep that in mind with everything.
That's the only unrealistic thing. I feel like he's that incredible at that young.
I guess so. I don't know. How
there's
that works,
really young, talented people. Never mind.
He's very harsh and
he's a Tsundsun. He's your fave.
He's Tsundsun. No, I mean, I would love the Dure side to come out a little more with Yurio.
The Dure side?
The sweet side, yeah. He's super cute, but
Oh yeah, you like Dures.
Yeah, but it would be nice if he was a little nicer. But I still like
But
him.
he was. He had that tsundere moment with the
at the end, he had that one tsundere moment. Yeah,
with the piroshki.
Okay, and he did, yeah, with Yuri, he had that. That was really good. And he has the thing with his grandpa.
I wanted to talk to you about that scene, actually. I love that scene.
Yeah, I did like that scene a lot, yeah. That's nice. Him being, he actually likes Yuri.
He smiles.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Beautiful. Yeah, Yuri's great. I love the Yuri fangirls, too.
Yeah, me too.
That's good. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. I love, this is the most typical Dylan comment. I say this about every show that this applies to. This is not. I love how the show uses technology. Animes
I love
never, in animes, the internet does not exist. But in this show, it does. So I love.
They use it to their advantage, but this one does it very well.
I love their use of Instagram and Twitter. They just explicitly display those two. It's really great. Like they're on their phones.
It's done very well.
This is a show that takes place in 2016 and like it shows. So that's a really good job by them. That's one of my favorite aspects of the show. I should have said that earlier. So what do you?
I mean, it's one of the unimportant aspects, but
compared to the, it's aesthetically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot about it, and I love that too.
Yeah, let's skip Yuri's, the hot spring owners? Are they Yuri's parents? I don't even remember anymore.
I mean, they're there, but they're not really. It's his parents and his older sister. And
yeah, so what about Mari?
She's cute.
The only thing at the end is she's in love with Chris, right? That was like
No, that was like the teacher.
That wasn't her?
I think they're both in love with Chris, but at the very end, that was the teacher, the ballet teacher. Minako sensei.
No, I don't know. She was more of a person in the beginning, Mari. I remember.
Mari liked Yurio in the beginning.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Let's talk. We're going through the Wikipedia character list here. Who are these people?
You're talking about the ice skating.
Yuko. Okay, let's talk about Yuko.
Yeah.
Yuko was this very promising character for like in episodes 1 and 2, and then she does not exist the rest of the series. So I
remember going into the series because in like the first episode, Yuri was like, "Oh, she's so kawaii." I was like, "Oh God, are they going to be straight?" And then they just disappeared.
I was almost shipping Yuko and Yurio, but there's a big age difference there. There's a big age difference there.
You even mentioned her at the end. Like I was like, "Oh, that's a ship."
Yeah, and they text each other.
But she's married with 3 children, so I mean, unless somebody's polyamorous, I don't know how that's going to work.
Yuko's married, really?
She has 3 kids who were like really annoying through the whole.
No, that's not Yuko, is it?
Yes.
I'm confused. No,
Yes, it's her.
Okay.
She had kids with Nishigori.
Who's the one? Okay, I may be confusing people.
I think you're confusing people.
I don't know. Who's the one that Yuri was going to be straight with? Is it Yuko?
I thought it was Yuko, and then they didn't.
Okay.
She disappeared.
Yeah, what do you think of the triplets then?
They're annoying and I hate them.
That's rude.
It's for the comedy side, but it's like that humor to me is like really boring and like irritating.
I think they're fine.
I liked how they were there for the explanations because I don't know anything about figure skating, but like other than that, I was like, I don't care about you. Just go back to the gay.
Yeah, I don't know. They're fine.
They're fine. Like I don't hate them like I hate the minions, but like they're unnecessary.
They're the minions of the show. Yeah, I'm skipping over all the coaches. I don't really care about the coaches.
Fine. Well, no, Celestino's cool. Chow Chow.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think? Char Char? That's
Chow Chow. I'm so confused. I don't know where the hell he's from. I'm so confused.
He's Italian. He's Italian-American, he says.
Okay. Italian-American. That makes sense.
Let's talk about the international skaters. Those are important to talk about. So,
there's so many, though.
There's so many. The Kazakhstan guy at the end, he's super boring.
Wait, which
you one? were like the Kazakhstan guy in the finals, the sixth one in the finals.
Yurio's boyfriend.
Yurio's boyfriend. Yeah. You were moved by his second performance in the finale.
I was. I got really into it. I mean, he should be a motivational speaker. Seriously, I was feeling it. I was like, yes, I will live my dream, and now is my beginning. Yeah, let's go.
The Chinese guy, Guang Hongji, the Chinese guy. I have nothing to say about him.
He's like 14, right?
17, it says.
Oh, whatever. Next.
Chris. Next, exactly. Chris, the number 2 in the world, behind Victor in the beginning, the 25 Switzerland. He's
the guy who busts him out on the ice every time.
Yeah. I was like, what are they translating this? Is that what this actually is saying?
Yeah.
It's not in Japanese it's an innuendo, but like I mean it's like flat out like yeah, it's happening on the ice.
I was like, what is happening right now?
That's why I wanted to watch those episodes.
Yeah, I don't think we saw either of those. Yeah,
not together. That's why I'm pissed.
Yeah. Chris, we watched half of them together.
We should watch them again. We should get watch them again.
I don't. Yeah, Chris, he was fine. What do you think of him?
I don't have an opinion on him really. He's fine. Okay. I'm concerned now because he was like getting all shady at the end.
Yeah. JJ.
No opinion. I just love his voice actor so much.
JJ's song is
the world, JJ, just follow me. This is
the stupidest thing. I don't know why he used to choke in the finale. I felt bad for JJ. What do you think of JJ? Do you ship JJ and his fiance?
Oh.
JJ, I don't have much to say about JJ.
I ship JJ with Ice.
Isn't that this whole show?
Pretty much.
Ship everyone.
You know what? It really annoys me though. I don't like I don't even know if there was an explanation for why he slipped up at the end. Like it's just like what? Why? Okay.
The pressure got to him.
But like what pressure? You don't whatever. He's fine.
Yeah. He's fine. Pichito-kun.
He's my favorite.
He's one of my favorite secondary.
He's my favorite secondary.
Yeah, his best moment was when he sees the bands. He's like, my friend. No, the hamsters too in the finale. But then when he sees the wedding bands, he's like, my friends are getting engaged, and he tells the whole restaurant, and they all start clapping. That was really great. Pichito-kun's so sweet. He's great.
He's the best. He's the best character ever.
Wow, better than Yuri. Man.
Listen, I got him on Which Character Are You? So obviously.
Do you like, which animal do you like? Cats? Yuri.
No, I chose
dogs. Yuri. Hamsters, Pichito-kun. There you go. That's the quiz.
Also, I'm the anxious one, so I should have gotten Yuri.
Yeah, I mean Yuri, yeah, but Pichito-kun's great. We have, here we go. Mickey Crispino.
Oh, there it is.
And Sala.
I'm gonna let you. What are you?
I'm not gonna get myself in trouble here, but this is my favorite secondary characters because it's so absurd. Why did you put this into the show?
Because it's a Japanese fetish. You know why they put it in.
Well, I understand why this is an anime, but it's so out of place with the show.
It really is. But then so many things of the show are out of place. Like the guy who broke up with that girl too was really out of place.
We'll talk about him. He's my favorite. But
I know. I was waiting for them.
Mickey and Sala. I ship them. It's my favorite ship because it's just so absurd and. I'm aware this is horrible, but
oh my god,
are they twins? They're not just siblings; they're twins.
They're twins.
They're twins, yeah. This is great. This is the most absurd part of that and Chris at the end of every routine. Those are the two most absurd
nutting
parts.
on the ice and incest. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there you go. But
wow, this show may be more controversial than I thought. Jesus.
Sala on her own is really good. Like,
I want to see her skate. Everyone's shipping her with the Russian chick. What's her name? The redhead? I don't know her name.
I don't know either. No, you got to ship her with Mickey.
Oh Jesus! No, they're brother and sister. They're twins, Dylan.
Dude, it's a love that transcends.
Listen, I went to Japan, but I'm not that Japanese. Okay, like
not that Japanese. It transcends romantic love, Allie.
No, it does not. It really doesn't.
He's so absurd. This character is so good. I love that they put this in, but it's so stupid. Like
the thing that annoys me about this is they subtitle her name with an L instead of an R, which is dumb. Because
is she Sarah?
I mean, her name is supposed to be Italian.
Oh, so... yeah. On Wikipedia, it's Sarah, but the subtitles said Sala.
Yeah, it's supposed to be with an R because first of all, it's Italian. Second of all, it's Italian. I don't know.
I guess R's and L's get confused.
Yeah, I mean, with Japan, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. That's an actual thing. They don't have both. They don't have
an R or an L.
Yeah. No, they have one. I think they have one of the two, or do they?
No, it's like a weird. I mean,
it's something similar. Yeah,
it's something in between.
That's a linguistic lesson. That's why R's and L's get confused, is because one language has one but not the other, or something similar. So it's hard to. Yeah.
They don't have either. No?
Anyway, Minami.
Oh.
The Japanese.
He's adorable, but I don't know.
Red and yellow haired. I think he's really cute. I like him.
I know you like him. He's. Yeah. How old is he? He's like 5, right?
He's 17. It says 17.
I thought he was like 14. Jesus.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, Yuri. He looks the same age as Yuri.
He does. He looks younger. He looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like 3.
Oh, I want to ship. Minami and Yuri. That's my show.
No, no. Yuri.
Why? It's like happy and sad.
He was his first friend, so that means they're gonna be gay, obviously.
Obviously. I really like Minami though, and his like fandom of Yuri.
I didn't like his dance. That's the thing. It was like.
He was like, it was like jazzy or something, right? I don't know.
It was, I don't even know.
I liked it. I don't know. It was different than the rest of them.
It was strange.
He's cool. Gilly Sang, or whatever, the Korean guy, whatever.
The guy who's, not important. His dog is more important.
Yeah.
No,
I guess so.
I don't care. I want his dog.
Emil, Nicola from the Czech Republic.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember him either. Let's keep going.
He was the one who, Mickey was like, stay away from my sister.
Oh yeah, that's great. Plays a vital part in the series. Let's talk about okay. Here's the best secondary character. For the record, I'm joking with all this listeners. But yeah, Gregory. Gregory is the best. He's so absurd in a series of absurd characters. Gregory is the Russian guy who's like his Anya.
He's me.
He's so great.
He was me anyway. He's amazing.
He was really great. I mean, he's a problematic character. Like, he should get over Anya, but still, like, he is great.
Well, Anya's also. Oh, I can't swear. Oops.
Nope. Why is Anya? Wait, defend that position. Why do you not like Anya?
I mean, she would come to his matches and be like, "Is it good enough?" No, and then she would just like. She posted stuff with this other guy in his face. I don't know.
Okay, how do you know that she wasn't, or that he wasn't terrible to her?
Listen, I'm the one going through the breakup. I know.
Okay, yeah, Allie's just relating to okay.
No, she wasn't. She just. I mean,
okay, don't say it again. That's not helping your cause.
Her thumbs down was just rude. That's all.
Yeah,
he was also crazy, so she's justified.
Not justified. I really wish, she's justified. I don't know.
She's justified.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Gregory's absurd. I really wish he made the finals. I wanted to see him skate.
I do too. I wanted him to win.
He better be in season 2. Because
I wanted everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. Yeah, no, he was so absurd. It was so good. He's just Anya. Yeah, there you go. Leo de la Iglesia. Okay.
Oh yeah, the American dude.
The only thing I have to say about Leo is that, wow, what a change from typical Japanese depictions of America. Japan actually realizes that there's more than white people here.
I'm so happy about it.
Sometimes they show black people, but they never show Hispanic people from American. Like, this is so good. Like,
I wanted to talk to you about that for a while, and I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, because
he was gone, but
Japan, he was gone.
But I think it's really important.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. Japan
Maybe they saw Hamilton and then were like, okay, not everybody's white.
Yeah, that's what it is. Japan understanding that there are...
Japan understanding our democracy, anyway.
Yes, there you go. Mila... Who? Oh, that's the Russian... Mila is Yuri P's and Gregory's rinkmate and trains with them.
Okay, yeah, the girl who people ship with Sarah.
Okay, I don't even remember. And then we have Sarah, yeah.
She's probably going to be in the next season.
Who, Mila or Sarah?
Both. I mean, Mila because they're in St. Petersburg, but I don't know about Sarah.
Can we have a spin-off of...
I mean, I want it, and then it'll be called Yaoi on Fire.
Yeah, where's my Yaoi on Ice with Sarah, Mila, and
some other
it's just all girls, and yeah, there you go. That's Yaoi on Ice. Let's do that.
And then it will be Hibike Part 2. Let's do it right.
Yeah, that's Hibike Part 2. Let's do it. There you go. So yeah, there are a lot of the secondary characters are good and they better be good because they focus on them so much. It's just they spend too much time. That being said, there are a lot of really memorable designs and memorable characters.
It's just because there's so many, I feel like it's a problem. But it had to be because, with World Championship thing.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, I know this is probably a realistic depiction of skating, but I wish they did more than 2 routines the entire series.
I do too, but I mean, that is what they do in actual
figure skating. It's kind of just how it works, yeah. But seeing Yuri do more stuff with, like, seeing him with the duel,
that's
with the
what
pairs
season 2 is for.
Well, we'll see that in season 2, yeah.
That's part of what I liked about how they did the animation, because I went in knowing that, like, I mean, because, I had seen figure skating before, so I was like, okay, they only do 2, so then how are they going to, like, make this entertaining? And that's why I liked how they did the animation, like, kind of not as great in the beginning, and they kept rising at every episode, and I really like that for everybody. I think they did it.
Yeah, definitely great animation. I think they built it up pretty well too. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, looking at these concluding secondary characters, yeah, definitely some memorable stuff here. Usually in anime, the friends of the main characters are kind of super forgettable, but they took their time with the designs on these other people, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Okay, closing things out, Ally.
God. Me?
Closing thoughts on anything we've discussed. Anything we haven't gotten to that you want to say?
I don't know. I mean, we were saying before, I mean, when I first watched it, I think it was when I was still going through a really bad time, and I, like, wasn't really into anything, but then I saw the show, and I was like, okay, everyone won't shut up, so I'll try. And the first episode was just, like, silly. And I was like, okay, this is cute, but, like, whatever. But then as I kept going, I got more invested in it, and, like, the characters were just, like, they helped me feel really better about, like, just life and stuff and, like, how things can turn out. So it was, like...
It's good, yeah. It's a very positive show.
It really saved me from, like, going into a really bad place for a long time. I have the show to thank for that, and I really wanted to just mention that, first of all, because it...
Yeah, that's important, more important than anything.
I know it did that for a lot of other people, especially, like, people who are, like, in the closet or stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know a couple of friends that it helped. Like, they showed their parents the series, and that's how they came out, kind of.
And this happens. This happens with a lot of shows with great depictions, and this is it's especially important for, like, people who, like, watch a lot of anime to, like, actually see anime progress like this. I think too is really good. Yeah, it's great that it's free like that. One last thing I want to say is, like, the show's very positive, and a lot of people are like, oh, where's, like, the homophobia or anything? Like, whatever. Like,
whatever.
It's fine. We don't, I don't think we need to, it's very valid to, serious for a second. It's very valid to discuss, portray struggles like with that, and it's super important to realistically portray the struggles that we get into in society, but it's also not sometimes you can just have pure positive depictions, and that helps a lot of people in different ways too. Mm-hmm. So I think that this is good in its own. Like, I don't, like, whatever, they don't, if they're traveling to all these countries, there should be some pushback, whatever, who cares? We don't need to get into that. Like, that's not the show. The show is very positive and fun. And,
I mean, that was also the thing with Pichid when he was like, they're getting married, and they were in Barcelona, and people were approving of it. I mean, because I think that's a country where it's, like, kind of more like not frowned upon as opposed to, like, other Asian countries, but
yeah, I think that's I don't think that's super unrealistic thought. So no. Yeah, I think definitely a series that gave us a lot to talk about here. If this is popular, maybe we can do another discussion on it at some point.
I totally think we should. Also, because it's going to come back.
Well, maybe we'll even cover season 2 in its entirety. That's a possibility, but that also wouldn't be for another year. So
yeah,
we'll see. Although anime studios always surprise me with, like, how quick they can get their season 2.
That's the thing. So. I was gonna say this might be out by the summertime.
Yeah, Free did that. Free was like
Free was also Kyoto Animation, and they have a huge budget.
Yeah, this is a slightly smaller studio, but this is MAPPA, which is a branch off of Madhouse. Yeah,
they're relatively new.
Yeah, they're a new branch off. Yeah. They
I'm
did.
excited.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else they did. They did Punchline, which I really need to see because of Kotaro Uchikowski, who I really love. But
Who that is?
he's the guy who makes the 999 series that I talk about a lot. And so, he wrote an anime, so that's the
nice.
studio did that. Yeah.
I'll watch that later.
So I'm checking. I mean, I think it's like action, like typical anime. But I
watch anime. I lived in Japan. Remember?
Yeah, you're Ally. Yeah, so you're the Japan person. So yeah, there you go. Final thoughts. Yuri on Ice.
Christmas is gay.
Yeah, it's your gay Christmas present for everyone. Yeah, there you go.
Like the last 2 days have been really gay, and this is a nice thing to top it off with. No, but seriously, this series is like up there for so many reasons for me. Also because like it helped me get out of a bad place, and I haven't been this hyped about a series since Korra. So 20 out of 20,000 out of 10 would bang.
I mean, I think you were pretty into Hibike season 1, but
not as much as this. Again, I hit the post limit, Dylan. God.
Yeah, you hit the post limit. That's pretty definitive evidence.
I've also drawn them. This hasn't happened in a long time.
You need to post that.
No. I showed it to you.
Should we plug your DeviantArt?
No, please don't.
Okay.
If anything, just plug my Tumblr.
Yeah,
my DeviantArt isn't real.
Yeah, what's your Tumblr, Ally? Ally's he was number 1 on Tumblr. Very popular on Tumblr for her.
Well, no,
Korosami reaction videos, very popular.
That was YouTube, which is the same account.
Yeah,
just follow my Tumblr.
Yeah, that's Ally. Ally's joins us sometimes. Ally's our anime correspondent.
I'm the Japanese one. Konnichiwa.
She's the Japanese one, so there you go.
I'm sorry to any Japanese listeners.
Yeah, that's pretty offensive. No, JK. But check us out at overlyanimated.com. Search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, your favorite podcatcher. Please leave us comments about anything we discussed. Please be respectful. I know we got into some heavy things here, but believe me, we care about what we're talking about with that. And we're going to approach it with concern. Comments on the website, on YouTube, on Tumblr Asks. We welcome that. We welcome the discussion, and let us know if you'd like us to potentially talk about this show more at some point. And check out overlyanimated.com. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. Consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons: Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jay, John, Finish, and Victoria, Katrin, and Steve, aka Fever, Mitch Corner, C, Beach, James, Nathan, Philly, and Buzz Like Your Mailman, Retros, General, Brian Cook, and Needle Diamond Day, Joel Garfield, Fusion, Skylark, Katrin, frequent commenter Steve. Especially shout out to Katrin and who's the other one Katrin's talking about the show a lot on our Facebook exclusive group. That's a big benefit of
you're welcome, you guys, for getting Dylan to watch finally.
Yeah, well, it's the combination of them bugging me and you bugging me.
Oh my God, why am I not enough? God.
It needs to be a lot to get me to watch a whole series. And Ryan also posted about this on our Facebook group, so
you're so
great.
Needy. Jesus.
That's needy?
I don't know. No, that's the wrong term. I just can't think of the right one.
I mean, to be fair, I had to watch an entire series.
I'm joking.
So
I know
it's more than your typical movie or something. But
yeah.
So hope you guys enjoyed that, and let us know what you thought. And thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.